Okay, Sophie, we're going to do your English exam. And for the third quarter, we left off in the chapter of the
Lancelot.
we started with the Knight of the Parrot.
Yes, the Knight of the
And then we finished
with
Lancelot. Lancelot. Okay, so tell me about the Knight of the Parrot in King Arthur.
About the Knight. Okay, so there was. This is about the Knight. It's the reason why it's like the first chapter is because it was actually the first adventure of King Arthur. So there was this tournament, like I forgot what the game is called. Like there's gonna be a border here, and then there's gonna be two horses running in opposite direction with you on it. Then we are going to be with the lance. If you hit the person or at least knock them off the horse, you either get a point or you get a win.
Mm-hmm.
That was what the tournament was about. So King Arthur and his horse went to that tournament, and then it kind of based on the book it said the tournament actually took a while, but in the end King Arthur won the whole tournament, and he was declared Knight of the Parrot.
Okay. And what is the parrot about?
It's the prize of the whole tournament, and can I say a plot twist?
Sure.
Like, the plot twist was the book actually didn't reveal this to me until later in the chapter. It said that King Arthur was actually disguising himself.
As?
Like, yeah, he didn't let anyone know that he was actually King Arthur.
Oh, okay.
He was very well known, but he wasn't as well known until this adventure.
Mm-hmm.
So when he won, the parrot said a prophecy, like I forgot what it said, but I do remember what I forgot what it sang, but I do remember what it said specifically. Like, it said that he will fight two warriors and overcome them and cross an iron bridge, and then he will meet two ladies, one that is near death and one that is in love's sweet grace. And then I remember and then the Knight of the Parrot, which is King Arthur, he was like, wow. So after hearing this prophecy, that was actually supposed to be prophecy, he didn't know it at the time. So then he didn't have a place to stay, so he stayed where in this place where this lady called O'Reilly, that's where she lived. He stayed at her castle, you could say. He stayed in her castle for a while, and then suddenly there was this group of people that went to him and said, there is this marshal that you need to avenge for us. We have heard of you from all the way from where we came from, and we hear you're a great warrior. So we have come here to send you to this place where this marshal dwells. He has killed a lot of people that from where we are, and we need you to defeat him, to kill him, so that he won't bother us or kill any of our citizens or people anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Knight of the Parrot said, okay. And then he said, I will go to that place tomorrow. Just come tomorrow, and then please lead me the way to where you were speaking of. The next day, there was this lady. Her name is Rossidale. Rossignol, yes, Rossignol. She said, Rossignol said, the lady Rossignol, she said, here, I will lead you to where we are going. And then Aurel was actually a bit sad that King Arthur was leaving, but because I remember before that after the tournament, one of the things he also had to vow was to remain loyal to the Lady Aurel. So she was sad that he was going, but he had to let him go. So now King Arthur was on the journey with the Lady Rocinante to lead them to this place. And then I remember there was this knight. This like, wait, am I saying the correct? I think I am. And then there was this knight that he had to fight, and then so the lady literally just ran away because she was scared and left King Arthur. They both fought. I remember it was this knight. Oh wait, no. Not the Lady Rocinante. He took a bunch of, I remember, no, he mixed it up. He took companions with him, but during this time when he had to go fight the knight, he sent his companions off, like to leave him alone at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, and at this point, beyond this point, he wanted to go by himself. So, he fought with this knight. He was a good knight. He was very fair, thank goodness. He said, may the better fighter win. And then so they fought. They said, I have never fought an opponent as great as you, and King Arthur returned the compliment. They both fought, and out of fury, at the end, this took actually a very long time. King Arthur finally, with a spontaneous burst of fury, he knocked the helmet off of the other knight, and he just stood back shocked. Like he fell off his horse at this point. So then he said, "Please, can you please spare me? I don't want to get killed. You already knocked off my helmet, and now I'm completely vulnerable." So King Arthur said, "Okay, yes." And then he said, "Can you also lead me to the place where I should be going? There's this marshal I need to defeat, to kill, because he is killing many people from the land I am supposed to be going to. Do you know where this is?" And then he said, "Oh yes, I know where this is. It's in you will see a palace. I forgot the name what it is. It's like if you turn to the right with your horse, it's going to be all the way over there." And then so he continued on his journey, and then he continued on his path, and then he saw the palace. And then, am I getting this mixed up? I don't think I am.
Okay.
I hope I'm not. And then he continued on this journey. He was not on this by this time. He was on the road for like a month or so. And then he finally reached this place. Oh wait, no. The knight said, "But be warned, this place has an iron gate and an iron bridge. It is so thin, not even your horse can walk on it. There will be this razor thing in the middle, and there'll be two pillars beside it.
Mm-hmm.
The pillars are where it connects to the mechanism, and that's where the razor sharp blade, that circle blade that
Yeah.
comes like,
Yeah.
that's what the mechanical wheels were in those two pillars, and that's where you would see it would just pop out of one and just go.
Whoa.
Like there would be this like motion sensor once you go near to it, and the second you're about to go, you step on it, it's just gonna go.
All
And
right.
then
So what is it
it
called?
kills you. It just called it like a razor metal wheel. They called it metal wheel in the book, and it described that it had razor sharp edges on the side. So I guessed it would be that one of those, the ones that go.
It would be like a guillotine, but
Yeah, but
not
with the-
vertically, but horizontally.
Yeah, like your whole body.
Okay.
It's rough. And then beyond it, there will be two warriors at the end, and then you'll have to defeat both of them. And then beyond that is where the marshal dwelt. But the knight said, the knight that is telling this said, I don't know, but since like he knows all of this because he actually used to work there. He used to work there, but not anymore. Thank goodness. And then he said, but I don't know what lies beyond the two warriors. You'll have to find that out for yourself. And that kind of scared King Arthur. So he went to the place, and then he went. Yes, and then back to where we were. He traveled a month or so, and it was a like very long journey. You could say he had to go over cliffs, had to cross a whole wilderness, and finally he was there. And then there was this like huge like palace, like they usually called it castles actually. Like any knight or lord, even a knight could own a castle.
Oh.
Yeah. They would call them a lord if you were a knight, because knighthoods are very hard to earn, which is why you have a palace. So he went to this to where the marshal dwelt. He knew it. He knew that that was it because it was grayish, whitish, and it was made out of marble. The knight also described that it was made out of marble, and you'll see lots of pillars, and you'll see a gate, and through the gate you'll see an iron bridge. He knew that it was the castle because he saw through the gate. The gate the gate didn't automatically open, but he pushed through it and it was somehow not locked. He pushed through it and opened the gate and tied his horse to a pillar outside of the gate because he knew that the horse would not fit on the bridge. He crossed the bridge, but it was so thin he had to go on his hands and knees. He crawled on his hands and knees and then saw the two pillars. The knight also said that there will be this one tiny peeky hole in the left pillar. You have to stab your knife through it so that it won't spin when you get through it.
Yeah, to lock it.
Yes. So the Knight of the Parrot, King Arthur had to stand up very carefully, not falling off the bridge, and then got his knife and stabbed it through the pillar. And then when it got out, even though his sword was one of the hardest, it was one of the strongest from where he dwelt, it still came out like super crumpled. Even though it was one of the strongest, hardest sword that he could find. And broken sword, now I gotta find another one. So he got it out, and then he trusted that the wheel still didn't work. He walked through it, and then nothing happened.
Wow.
That took a lot of courage and a lot of trust, because he still heard of some of the working inside of the pillar. So he pondered in his mind, does it still work or does it not work? He was so scared, so he just, please don't die. And then he didn't die, thank goodness. And then he went to the place. It said that and then he saw another pillar. It was carved on it with red writing on it. It said, if you want something grand to happen to you, step closer. This felt very suspicious to King Arthur, because he saw a tiny lump on the ground right where the pillar was on the floor. It's like, oh, it's a trap. I'm not gonna go there. So he just continued straight on his path, because he also remembered that the knight said, do not get distracted. You will see some distractions on the way, but do not get distracted. Go directly straight and not anywhere else. So he continued, and then he saw two warriors. The warriors looked super duper strong and looked like, oh,
Menacing.
yeah, menacing, grim. And then then he went towards them, and then they looked like they were about to strike. And then King Arthur was so scared. He just did this, and then he said, "Wait, aren't you tired of always fighting and protecting your master? Like on whoever dares come pass by here?" And then, to his surprise, one of the warriors said, "To be honest, yeah, I am sick of it. I have fought and defeated and killed so many knights that have tried to pass through here. I have my own home, but I can't get back to it because I have to continue with this job." And then he said and then the warrior said to the warrior beside him, "Aren't you sick of it too?" And then he was like, "I guess, maybe, yeah." That's literally all he said. Maybe. So they said, "You know what? Yeah, we're just gonna let you through. There's a harder challenge waiting for you anyway." So King Arthur, like, with a great relief, went past the two warriors and into the palace. That was just outside. And then inside was a dimly lit hall with ladies. Whenever I mention a lady, if I say woman, that just means a regular woman. But a lady is someone like the wife of a knight or something, or like she still has authority. There were a bunch of ladies holding silver torches, and it was all lit. The room was only lit with those torches, and they all looked scared and fret. And they all looked to King Arthur, but they didn't turn their heads. They just did this, like they side-eyed him. And then the marshal, he was at the end of the hall. There was rooms beside where the ladies were. So the marshal was at the end of the hall with like on a throne, and then he looked up since he was at the end of the hall, he was a very shadowy figure. So when he walked towards King Arthur, they immediately began fighting. Like, King Arthur got like deeply wounded on the arm here. Just went like just probably like a centimeter or an inch deep into his arm. It hurt.
Wow.
It cut through his armor. That's how hard he stabbed. And then he was like, and then went a bit here, his waist, and then he was like, "Ow, that hurts."
Yeah.
And then so with great fury, he this and knocked off his jaw.
His jaw?
Yes, his whole jaw.
Oh. Okay.
His whole jaw. He just went it went across. The sword went through. The sword went through the helmet, and just went like, and then the flesh just.
I never thought that this book would be so violent.
Sadly, it was like,
Okay.
and then he fell dead to the ground. Obviously, just lost his bottom jaw. He just lost his. And then all of the maids, they quickly put their torches on the torch stand, and then began hugging and kissing King Arthur like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you," because they were all actually kidnapped in truth
Oh, okay.
by the marshal, while he has killed all their people. They all come from different places and from where they are, and there was like at least 20 of them, at least 25. And they were so happy. And then when King Arthur went back to the place, like I think to Lady Aurel, that was, I forgot the other woman that it said the one near death, but Aurel was the lady in the prophecy, the other in Sweet Lovely Grace. And then I remember that when he went home, that was when everyone knew him at that point. And then they've celebrated and then had a feast.
You need water. Okay. But that's the Night of the Parrot. You're not yet through with Lancelot.
I know a bit, but I haven't read the complete story.
Okay. All right. So maybe that's just what we'll cover for this third quarter. Okay. All right. Thank you.